All emotions have a purpose. Like positive emotions, negative emotions are a valuable source of cognitive information to help you understand what's going on around you. They help you identify threats and to be on guard against the possible dangers. Negative emotions are an essential counterbalance to help you see both sides of a situation. While fear and anxiety are seen as negative emotions, they can be what spurs you to take action and change your life when you recognize their presence. If harnessed properly, negative emotions are motivators that help us address and correct behaviors. Guilt is tied to our moral compass, and when we feel this emotion internally, we'll punish ourselves because we believe we've done something wrong. Guilt keeps us in check from doing bad things like committing crimes, cheating on our spouse or taxes, or drinking and driving. Similarly, jealousy is sometimes referred as a benign envy. This benign envy can motivate someone to believe that if another person can accomplish a goal, such as getting a good grade or hitting a high sales dollar amount, that is tangible in reach for them as well. You can reframe jealousy as a good thing when you're able to view it as an achievable goal for you too. The key is to keep these and the other negative emotions in check. When you get caught up in an endless cycle of negative emotions is when we get into trouble. Wallowing in negative emotions can impair our ability to think straight, especially when those emotions are incredibly intense. Your emotions. And if you don't get intentional about how you interact with your emotions and move forward the emotions you want, you will live the same life you always have. Once you learn to identify your emotions, they begin to loosen your grip on you. Your awareness means you are gaining control. As a one more thinker, you can begin replacing dominant harmful emotions with helpful emotions. When you gain control, new and positive emotions will energize you that will help you chart new goals and directions. You will find it easier to get big ticket items done in your life when you live in the confidence and the happiness instead of doubt and the despair. Imagine what would happen if you could rebuild your emotional framework one more emotion at a time to put you in a position to become a millionaire, buy your dream house, or find your soulmate. Flipping your emotions from a can do mindset to a can do mindset is an essential step to making all these things happen while you hoard your emotions. Change your emotional mindset is a challenge. I'm not going to lie. There are mental barriers to overcome when you've been pre-conditioned to think in a way that brings you a comfort and a goal to create lengths to avoid pain. Often, the actions you take in your life are because you think you will give in a particular emotional response. You buy flowers for your wife or girlfriend because you want to show your love for her and feel the love in return. You take a long walk on the beach and a hike alone in the park as a way to clear your mind and to find peace. You work your butt off, reaching a year-end work goal because you know you will enjoy the recognition you receive and the pride you will feel. Emotions are stronger and more permanent than feelings. Feelings are emotional recreations. They are more transitory and shallow in nature. Emotional responses run deeper and can be measured by physical cues, while mothers and her does not raise. When her child come home from a long deployment in the military to surprise her, if you get in a fight with your spouse at some point, they will stop talking to you, but their body language will tell you all you need to know. Studies that have even shown that healthy anger and easy repressed state has been linked to cancer. Unaccompanied by positive emotions, negative emotions and can create an endless stream of ruminations. This repeated negative thinking increases the brain's stress level, flooding our bodies with the stress hormone cortisol that can lead to depression, overreacting, drug and alcohol abuse, high blood pressure, and cardiovascular disease. Although you want to hoard and experience only positive emotions, the fact is that all emotions are entirely normal to experience. That means anger, fear, disgust, sadness, contempt, shame, guilt, and other emotions will perceive as negative as an adjustment and normal as a surprise, happiness, satisfaction, joy, and the relief, to name a few. When you try to repress perceived negative emotions in favor of only seeking and allowing positive emotions to exist in your mind, you achieve a delicate balance that causes problems instead. Hoarding emotions reduces your ability to distinguish between reality and what you perceive to be reality. In turn, it creates an emotional clutter that can infect your part of your life. You've met people in your life who are off the scale, deliriously happy, and you've met people who are permanent downer mood. Both can be hard to be around. That's because both are shielding themselves from their genuine emotions by hiding in the mist. This emotional clutter, the active emotional decluttering, sorting through emotion in a way that helps you in the internal process. Keep in mind that your actions may bring you certain material things and outcomes, but you just often you want to emotionally attach to those outcomes. People are intentional about their actions, but rarely do they spend enough time thinking about the emotions attached to those actions. For this to happen, we must take a closer look at what we want, and we must be truthful when we do so. Rich Dad and Poor Dad, author Robert Kiyosaki, puts it this way: emotions are what makes us human, make us real. The word emotions stands for energy emotion. Be truthful, be truthful about your emotions and use your mind and the emotions in your favor and not against yourself. People are composed of a small handful of emotions they live with every day. These emotions create our emotional homes. Like any home, your emotional home may not be perfect, but it is comfortable. Regardless of our physical environment, some of us do have a lot of positive emotions. In our emotional home, we routinely experience bliss, satisfaction, pride, and more. But others are living okay. I don't want to read this one. It's all negative. Okay, much like an old house guest who stay long, we become desensitized to their holderness. They become our way of life, making things worse because they're programmed to go after things without paying attention to our emotions. When we fail, those bad feelings and grow. The act of emotional decluttering means tossing out those unwelcome guests so that you can invite other more positive guests in for an extended permanent stay. Getting honest and intentional. Okay, intentional. One more thinkers must choose to change their harmful emotions. When you do, your emotional home will change. In fact, it's much like moving to an entirely new address. It's not enough to take action to get the thing you want. We've heard stories of people who have made fortunes but who also read the trouble and miserable lives. They live in fear, greed, and distrust, even though they might also live in a $10 million in a mansion and they have $10 million in the bank. They've fallen into the trap of believing they would be happy by default. Oh, this is a really good expression, right? They would be happy by default if they become wealthy. But the problem is they didn't consciously choose to be happy, to practice gratitude, to be kind and generous. Oh, gratitude and kind and generous. They were not intentional, and now, even if they are worthy, appear to be in one way, unless they've gotten past an overwhelmingly negative emotions, they're slowly dying on the inside. Ask yourself, if you could choose to have $1 million in the bank, but you had no peace in your life, would you make that sacrifice? No, absolutely not. What is the price of your joy and happiness? Now, if you could choose to have $1 million in the bank instead, but be completely content, surrounded by people you love and who love you back, and you look forward to living every day, would you choose that instead? Yes. Well, no. I mean, I just want to, choose both of them. I don't want to just, sacrifice, any of those. Yeah. As I said, changing our emotions is an intentional act and an exercise in honesty. As a best-selling author, Dorothy Bendick puts in, when you walk in a life of honesty, you live a life of truth. Oh, if you can't be truthful with yourself, what right do others have to expect that you will honest with them? Being honest and intentional, I'm sorry, no, okay. Being honest and intentional are two of the best gifts you can give yourself. Honesty is the springboard from the which every emotion emanates. Intentionality is the muscle you need to get you to those honest emotions. Fortunately, if you set your standards and the goals the right way, you can have both $100 million in the bank and be at peace with the emotions that serve you well. Okay, I just losing my focus, but I still just try to keep reading this and feeling your home with the positive emotions. There are some actions you can take to move consciously toward reframing your emotional mindset. You will have more success inviting the right kind of emotions into your house if you do the following. Meditate. When you slow your brain down, concentrate and focus on what you want. Your brain engages and moves you close to those goals. When you consciously decide you want to release your anger or fear, you will make room for peace and tranquility. I meditate daily to start my day. I clear out negative thoughts that don't serve me well. I practice gratitude and positivity. I focus on what I need to do for the day and then I engage my priorities. Above all else, I move forward, not backward. Find balance. If all you do is work, when though you may love it, you have no time for rest and recovery, and setbacks and the negative emotions can pile up and produce an oversized clutter I talked about. Dedicate time to activities and people that bring your life back into balance. For me, that might be a round of golf or taking my dogs for a walk. Both are relaxing breaks. I needed to restore my emotional health. Oh, when I just driving on the way to the gym, so listen to the music and I sing the song, and then I was like, okay, yeah, so It is just um restore my emotional health. Create new habits, set new goals, practice much needed self-care routine. Yay, identify your triggers. The user goes back to intentionality. Figure out what makes you angry or frustrate you. Can't stand it when people run late for appointments or cancel at the last minute. Is there a particularly annoying coworker who makes your skin crawl? Do politics, taxes, global warming, or child neglect light a fire under you? Take the time to put your triggers into perspective. Some things you can change and control. Use some things you can't. Manage your triggers or they will eat you alive. Resolve to change the way you think. Identify the negative emotions you'd like to rid of yourself or a positive emotion you'd like to enjoy more and make a conscious effort to move in that direction. As you do, consider what Proverbs 23:7 says. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Oh, James Allen, I knew it. Okay. When you're able to align your heart and your mind, you'll be ready to put the power of one more emotion to work for you. Okay, so I'm done here.